My next guest, Ian Haworth, has been calling out all this absurdity. Thank you. Before he joins us, take a listen to what he had to say recently about it all.
But this has nothing to do with race or skin color or even religion. It has everything to do with values. America is full of patriotic people who love their country. And this includes white people, black people, Asian people, Hispanic people, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, and every other category we love to divide ourselves with. But there are a growing number of people who don't love this country, who don't love the West, and hate our values, who will happily use our tolerance against us. Multiculturalism works when we're talking about food or clothes or accents. It doesn't work when we're talking about murder and rape.
I don't think I could say that better myself. Let's welcome to the program now the host of the podcast Off Limits, Ian Haworth. Ian, so well said. And thank you, sir, for standing up, taking the arrows from the crazy radical left, who, as you so eloquently put it, are tying themselves to this radical Islam and trying to divide this nation of patriots even further and create a bunch of anti-Semites.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Dan. It's just horrific to watch. I think, first, what's going on in Israel is obviously abhorrent. I think the vast majority of people can admit that when you see the images coming in, the videos coming in, seeing a video of a father this morning, glad that his daughter Emily was found dead because that was better than being dragged off into Gaza. This is the reality of what we're seeing. But I think the next level that I think is really unprecedented in American life, certainly, is the celebrations we've seen. The bloodthirsty celebrations on American streets. We're talking about New York City, San Francisco, LA, Chicago, people in the streets with Palestinian flags cheering on these people, calling them martyrs. People in Sydney screaming, "Gas the Jews." I mean, this should put an end forever to the fact that being anti-Israel is not anti-Semitic. It's possible to be anti-Israel without being anti-Semitic, but have you noticed how many people who are supposedly anti-Israel really, really hate the Jews right now?
Yeah,
and so
crazy.
That for me is very worrying. It's like, if you care about Western values, you've got to wake up to the fact Western values are under attack right now, not just in Israel, but here too.
Yeah, you could say, look, I don't like the Israeli government or leadership, but be a proud Jew and support Jewish community and people, just like I do with this country. I despise the Biden regime and our federal government. Does that mean I hate America? Hell no. I'm proud as heck to be an American. I love this country. I'm a patriot. But I can hate my government because the ones we have right now in charge suck. Ian, I got to show this video because I want people to understand that even if you kill the Hamas fighters that killed all the Israelis over the weekend, they're breeding this hate. But you don't see this in Israel. They're not schools. There aren't TV shows with like cartoon characters saying, kill all the Palestinians. I want folks to watch this, read the subtitles. This is kids talking outside of a classroom about what they're taught in Palestine. And then it's also a kids' TV show with a character teaching hate against Jews. Watch this and we'll get your reaction on the backside.
وما نخلي اليهود يخشوا على الأقصى وأنت بتحبي الأقصى ولا بتحبي بابا أكتر؟
بحب الأقصى.
إيه شطورة من بابا.
نعمل حرب إنه نفرجي اليهود إنه إحنا مش إنه إحنا مش شاطرين، إحنا قوايا كمان. أنا بقرأ اليهود. بعلمونا إن الصهيونية هم أعدائنا وهم أهم شيء لازم يسوي فيهم عملية.
يعني إنهم بيعلمونا بالمدرسة إنهم إرهابيين
بيحكوا لنا عن اليهود إنهم هدول مش مناح وهدول بقتلوا قاعدين بشبابنا.
So Ian, I'm not saying I can't blame them, but I mean they are taught this from a young age to hate all Jews. The kids are talking about stabbing them, driving cars into them.
It's just horrendous. I mean, how can you possibly hope to live to be a peaceful person, someone who loves other people, when that's what you're taught from the second you're born? And that's really the gravity of the fight that a lot of Jews in the Middle East, but across the world, are also seeing, is that we're not dealing with people who have just gone down the wrong path on YouTube and maybe have learned a few things that are incorrect and they can be brought back. If you've lived your entire life hating Jews, and that the thing to aim for in life is to kill Jews, and also the Palestinian authorities pay people quite handsomely to kill Jews, how are you ever going to change? That's the battle we're facing, is that there's a almost generational hatred that you cannot undo. You're constantly fighting hate. Israel understands that. I think the fact is the rest of the world needs to catch up and realize that one war isn't going to fight this. You're fighting a generation of people who hate you, multiple generations of people who hate you.
Yeah, this goes back more than decades.
Yep.
This is centuries old hate. I mean, everybody wants to go back to 1948. No. Let's go back centuries. There is centuries of hate towards the Jewish community.
But it's also just being fueled by people. I think one really important point that we need to raise is, where are the leaders of Hamas right now? Because they're not in Gaza. They're living in absolute lapse of luxury in Qatar, where the money from Iran, for Iran rather, from Biden happened to go.
Yeah,
so these people are forcing people into poverty, forcing people into ignorance, and then happily having them spew all of this hatred and violence, while the actual leaders who are culpable for this are thousands of miles away. So those are the people to blame. When people talk about the casualties in Gaza, for example, I pray for those people too, because those are innocent civilians in many cases that are being used as human shields by Hamas. But it is not Israel's fault that Hamas are evil and treat their own citizens with just as much hate as they do Jews.
Well, and Israel gives them warning. Yeah, Hamas never gives warning. Let's let the folks know that. Israel will put warning signs. They'll drop things on roof. They'll put bullhorns out and say, get out. They give warning before they attack. Hamas never does in all these conflicts. So it's apples to oranges. Ian, I'm out of time, but I want folks to watch your show Off Limits. You've been speaking a lot of truth. How do they do that?
Yeah, you can check it out on YouTube. It's Off Limits with me, Ian Haworth, or you can find me on all social media, IG HAWORTH.
All righty. Ian Haworth, thank you, sir. Appreciate you speaking the truth.
Thank you.